After I reviewed the One More Sonoflow a few weeks back, the winner of the best headphone name ever, I'll tell you what, some of you mother feather rufflers said that it was too expensive for how cheap it looked, and some of you even went as far and said that you wouldn't touch this thing with a 10-foot pole. Well, I hope you're happy guys, because the audio gods up in music heaven somewhere decided that I needed to review something cheaper, something that looks like the cheap price you're paying for. So I have in my hands the $80 Edifier W820NB. The possible winner of not the best headphone name ever, and I'm gonna compare this side by side with the Sonoflow, then we'll see who's right. And so don't blame me for how this story ends. So if you're ready for this, let's do it! The 820NB retails for $80 and it comes in 4 different colors as opposed to one single color option on the Sonoflow. This has Bluetooth 5.0 with support for AAC and SBC, but no aptX if that's what you're looking for. And also if you want support for your high-res files, the Sonoflow is the one to go for, because this can do FLAC, for example. In the business end of things, 40mm drivers on each side. Battery life is pretty darn strong. I got about 31 hours with ANC on at 65% volume. When you turn on gaming mode, that goes down to a still strong 23 hours. Weight is 230 grams, or about 30 grams less than the Sonoflow. That's pretty impressive. And I'm not sure how many mics these have because the spec sheets don't say anything, but based on the noise cancellation and phone call quality, I'm guessing 2 per side. And by the way, these have no wear detection, multi-point Bluetooth connection, or even a storage case. If you've been sitting there wondering how they kept the cost and weight down on this thing, well, let me show you one example. Plastic sliders. There's no metal here whatsoever. It has good action, 10 detents and all, but it's a potential weak spot to break. But speaking of weak spot guys, or breaking, check this out. I know this is an extreme twist test. Do you hear much, aside from the wishbone, do you hear much creaking whatsoever? It's pretty darn impressive considering how much plastics they have on this. So I'll give it bonus points for that. But speaking of plastics too, this is where they cheaped out. It's hollow and a scratch magnet. Oh my goodness, look at that scoring. And on the Sonoflow, I've had this longer. There is some, only when I really try. But yeah, it's kind of embarrassing that the plastics are cheaper here, so there you go. One place where the Edifier has a leg up compared to the Sonoflow and the Q45 is in the button setup. It's ergonomically superior. They're all on the right side, but the non-visual aids where you try to feel for the buttons without looking, the knobs are so much better laid out, it's so much more distinct, and the button action is so much higher quality. The others feel more plasticky. These feel a little bit more dampened. It's really nice. This is the multifunction button right here. It pairs your headphones with your devices or swaps between noise cancellation and pass-through, LED status light. The power button is flanked by volume buttons. The USB-C charging port is right here. One of the venting ports right there. I'm guessing there's a mic in there as well for phone calls. Another venting port on the side and then another one at the top. On the left side, there's only 2 venting ports. One at the top, another one on the side. Now the ear pads, oh my goodness, check this out guys. It's cushy, it's slow to go back. Yeah, it's really nice. It conforms to the ear, at least on my ears. It covers the earlobes really well and provides a really nice passive seal. The headband is okay, it's generous enough, but I say when you combine it with the side, it makes for a long comfort session, really nice. One place where they also had cost cutting is in the folding mechanism. This thing can twist, but that's about it, and also extend, but there's no folding mechanism inwards or anything like that to really make it down and small and compact when you want to store it in your backpack. Oh man, we're doing old school, Paula Abdul doing Rush. I'm using this as a test song for our outdoor Bluetooth range test. These headphones, the Edifiers, have Bluetooth 5.0 and so should have a theoretical operating range of 35 feet thereabouts. But I'm guessing it'll go further because headphones tend to have a bigger transmitter, or transmitters. So there's the phone at the end of my neck there. It's the Flip 3 playing high fidelity music to Deezer. And then here where I'm standing is around 25 feet. So let's take this on a walk to the side of my house. How you guys doing? Thank you for joining me today. I just got a slight signal disconnect there. Still, the music is now resuming. Oh, there's another couple of pops. So not one of the strongest I've seen so far. Maybe it's the weather. It just finished raining, so it's kind of a gloomy day and all that such. I'm not even going to bother hitting the disconnect zone. So yeah, these things Not as far, but I doubt you'll be walking like, what, 50 feet away from your phone, and there's a bloody house between the whole thing, so that's not bad. You can see how these fit around my ears. Let me put it around my neck too. Wow, really comfortable. Let me try to put these back on one-handed even. Jeez. Not bad. I like how compact these are. These remind me of the, let's see, what did we just review? The Sonoflows. The One More Sonoflows. They're nice and compact, really light on the ears. You know, it's really nice. Let me try running with these. I feel like the clamping force, I have to be careful here, it's really slippery. The clamping force is really strong, actually, around the skull in the right places, or at least on my head. It cups the corners of my skull as well, just right, and a lot around my earlobes themselves too. Still staying stable. There is some wobble from the driver, I think, and also the plastics, but man, this is slippery here. But if you take these or have to take these on a slight run or a brisk walk, or if you want to do it on a treadmill in your gym, go for it, it's doable. We're down by the roadside right now to test the mics on these and how they may sound like when you get a phone call and how they handle noise cancellation as traffic passes through. And today is awesome because look at that, the road is wet. That means the tires of trucks or cars as they pass through is going to produce a higher pitch frequency that you don't normally get, and then you can hear for yourselves in the recording how these may sound in a noisy environment. So here comes the truck right now. I'll tell you what though, when it's quiet, my voice sounds really good. The intonation, the pronunciation, the bass, nice and solid. But I think during my test time, when it gets noisy, it's a hit or miss because sometimes the algorithm garbles my voice up as well. It confuses my voice as noise. So I'm not sure if you'll get it in this recording, but during my testing, I've heard it from time to time. So, you know, you may or may not get it. So I say it's kind of unreliable that way. But for the most part, I would say maybe 65, 70% of the time, if it's noisy like this, testing, 1, 2, 3, it's perfectly fine. It works really well. So that's nice. Another plus too is when you have noise cancellation on, you listen to some jams, and then you get a phone call. This thing turns to pass-through mode. Pauses the music, of course, and turns on pass-through mode, which I really like because then you can hear your surroundings as you're talking to someone. I sound like a broken record at this point, but I'll say it again. Edifier knows how to tune their gear. From their bookshelf speakers to their earbuds, they generally do a better than expected job. The 820, I have to say this though, isn't going to worry the Sonoflow, but it does carry enough clarity and bass performance in a chillaxing sort of way. So much so that I've caught myself reaching for these rather than a pair of Q45s or the Sonoflow on more than one occasion. The tuning reminds me of a cross between the Soundcore as well as a Sony 1000XM4. A little technical, melded with some warmth. Now, this thing is biased towards bass, with sufficient volume still in the upper mid-range for instruments and vocals to like slide right through nicely. On the other hand, if you care to customize the sound, you can head into the non-existent EQ. So yeah, that's one of the downsides. I guess that's down to hardware limitations. That's why we don't see an equalizer or presets. Lower mid-range instruments like pianos and acoustic guitars also roll off a little bit too early for my liking, getting lost in the solid bass and mellow vocals. And also, don't crank it up past 75% volume unless you like to hear the drivers lose their composure. How is this so light? It's not like they skimped on the battery or the padding or anything like that. I can think of one thing, and I'll talk about it in the negatives, but this lightness is probably why I prefer to wear this over the others. It's all about how little weight that actually sits on your skull, which directly affects long-term comfort. Might I also add, the W820NB has just the right amount of clamping force. Not too tight, not too loose, so when I do the head flick, it doesn't come out as fast as, say, the Sonoflow. Check this out. Let me tighten this, and it's already off, and it broke. I'll tell you what, you definitely can't beat the price. In fact, buy this right now, the links are down below, and with the $20 you save over the Sonoflow, you can donate some to your favorite tech YouTuber. Now, oddly enough, I remember seeing this thing launch last year for $60, so maybe the 820 is yet another victim of inflation, for what it's worth. But speaking of lower prices, something you won't find here is multi-point Bluetooth connection, something pretty common nowadays, or wear sensors. You don't even get a storage case, let alone a carry pouch, for crying out loud. The Sonoflow comes with a really nice case. The other thing too, the 820 is a scratch magnet. You stare at it funny, a scuff will appear just out of thin air. And don't even actually try to use it or wear it in real life, because scratch marks will appear faster than you can say demon possession. Yeah, the plastic quality is just inferior to that used on the Sonoflow. Well, it seems like you feather rufflers can rejoice after all, because this set of Edifier headphones sound great, have better ergonomics than even the Sonoflow or Q45, are comfortable as well, easier on the wallet, as long as you can look past its cost-cutting deficiencies like so-so noise cancellation and cheaper materials. Hold on a second. I'm looking here on the interwebs, and the Soundcore Q30 is also $80 nowadays. So I guess I made a mistake. I should have compared this with the Q30. What was I thinking? I'm gonna have to make another video. Oh my goodness. Back to the drawing board. Yeah, I'm gonna go mull over my life decisions and planning abilities. But in the meantime, let's get to the final GearUP score for the Edifier W820NB. It gets 7.8 out of 10, and this is how I broke it down to get a final score. If you have any questions about how I got there, feel free to comment down below. Hey, thank you so much for watching this episode. The fact that you're here, you could have been outside playing with your family or cooking or watching another video. The fact that you're watching this right now really means a lot to me. Edifier, by the way, did send me this set of headphones, but in no way did that sway my opinion or final scores, because this channel is all about keeping it real for you guys as the consumer, and it will always stay that way as long as I have a say in it. Remember to show your support. Thumbs up if you like it, comment nicely down below, subscribe to this channel, share it with your friends, get me to 50,000 and above. That'd be super awesome. And also I'm on Patreon, as well as the super thanks button down below if you'd like to drop me a cup of coffee or tea or something like that. That'd be nice. And also remember to do something loving and kind for somebody in this world, because guess what, guys? The world needs it more than ever, and it starts with you. I love you all very much, and I'll see you in the next episode.